Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashwini from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. So today's topic is about brute force algorithm in analysis and design algorithm. So first let us see what is an brute force search. In computer science, brute force search or exhaustive search is also known as a generate and test. It is very general problem-solving techniques and algorithmic paradigm that consist of symmetrically checking all the possible candidates for the whether it's not each candidate satisfies the problem's statement. A brute force algorithm that finds the diverse of natural number n and would enumerate all the integers from 1 to n. So let us check each of them and divides the n without the remainder. A brute force approach for 8 wins puzzles and would examine all the possible arrangements of 8 pieces on the 64 square chessboard and each arrangement check whether each piece can attack any other. So, while a brute force search is simple to implement and always will find a solution if it exists, implementation costs are proportional to the number of candidates of the solutions, which is many practical problems tends to grow very quickly as the size of the problem increases. So, therefore, brute force search is typically used when the problem size is limited and whether the problem specific heuristics that can be used to produce the set of candidates, solutions, and size. The method is also used when the simplicity of the implementation is more important than the processing speed. So, in this case, for example, in a critical applications where any errors in the algorithm would have serious consequences when using a computer to prove a mathematical theorem. So, brute force search is also useful as a baseline method when benchmarking of other algorithms or meta heuristics. Indeed, brute force search can be viewed as the simplest mathematics. So brute force search should be not confused with the backtracking, where large sets of solutions can be discarded and without being explicitly enumerated. So the brute force method is for finding an item in a table. So namely, to check all the entries of the latter sequentially, that is called as linear search. This article is about a problem solving techniques in computer science, similarly named as the methods of other disciplines to see the brute force. Disambiguation. So let us see a basic algorithm. So in order of candidate of P after a current one C value, check whether the candidate C is a solution for P and output use the solution C of P as an appropriate to the applications. So the next procedures must be tell when there are more candidates for the instance P after the current one C. A convenient way to do this is return a null candidate. Some of the conventional data value that is distinct for any real candidate. Likewise, the first procedure should return if there are no candidates for all the instance P. The brute force method is then expressed by the algorithm. So, C first. So, while C will use a do while loop where we'll check whether if P, C and R valid, then the output will get PC. So then next we'll move on to the C and we'll end the while loop. So next we'll move on to the main advantages of the brute force method is that for many real world problems, the number of natural candidates is prominently. For instance, we look for the diverse of a number of described above. The number of candidates are tested and will be given the number of n. So, if n has the 16th decimal digit, say that search will require executing at least 10 to the power 15 computer instructions that will take several days on the typical PC. If n is the random 64-bit natural number, which are about 19 decimal digits on the average, the search will take about 10 years. And this steep growth is the number of candidates as the size of the data increases and occurs in all sorts of problems. So, for instance, we are seeking a particular rearrangement for the 10 years. So, we will see that we will have 10 to the 3,62,000 candidates to consider whether the typical PC can generate and test in less than 1 second. However, adding one more letter, what is only 10% increase the data size that will multiply the number of candidates by 11 or 1000% increase. So let us see one way to speed up a brute force algorithm and to reduce the search space, that is a set of candidate solutions, by using a heuristic specific problem class. For example, 8 queens problems challenge the place 8 queens of standard chessboard so that there are no queens attack any other. Since each queen can be placed in any other 64 squares, in principle, they are 64 to the power 8 possibilities to consider. However, because of the queens are all alike, that no two queens can be placed in the same square. So the candidates are all possible ways for choosing the set of 8 squares and set of 64 squares, which means to estimate. So this is some examples that we saw about the brute force algorithm, and this is the best example where a little bit of analysis will often lead to dramatic reductions and number of candidate solutions. So this is all about brute force algorithm. Thank you everyone for watching my video. Please do share it to your friends and family. Thank you.